Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. We've got so many people in the chat already. Thank you for being in here. Christian Hastings, Stonefish, Liddy is in here, KC3, CID. It is going to be a great show. Let's see how we did yesterday on the recap screen. Was that a great show? Well, we have a winning record, 5-4-2. I hit some plus money stuff, lost some plus money stuff. I go 1-1-1. SportsLine picks, they fail, but they have been red hot. Snyper goes 1-0-1. We like to see that. Mackenzie Brooks hits hers. Mike McClure hits his. A-Mags hits his. 5-4-2 is okay, but we got to do better than 5-4-2. And I'll tell you what, we're just going to turn it up a notch because, I mean, there's so much to talk about. We got NBA picks. We got MLB picks. We got Snyper back on the show on consecutive shows, which I know everybody's excited about. He might even throw out a home run prop. We got Masters picks. We got soccer picks. We bring it all on BPE Friday. Let's go. We got Danny Brasco with UFC. We got Buckets with soccer. We got the Sniper with baseball. I've got some Masters picks, but we all need one thing and one thing only right here, right now. It's our Chip Me Up.
Good morning, see you. Good morning, Buckets. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, Early Edge fam and Jen. As you can see right now, we've got a lot to get to today. We got a lot of picks. We got some UFC and lots to do. Because if you could imagine me announcing the golfers on the first tee of Augusta, I would say, baby, on the first tee.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And I believe Chip has some Masters picks today as well. We've got so much going on, including the early wedge. Our new expanded early wedge. It's on CBS Sports Network today at 12 o'clock. You'll see Patrick McDonald from Augusta. You'll see me. You'll see Rick Gaiman from Augusta and so many others, including Mike McClure. We're going to be talking live bets. We're going to catch you up on what's going on at the Masters. But I got to catch up on what's going on today here. Sniper, I see you kind of shaking your head. You don't want this golf talk.
No, it was there was a comment in the chat that showed up on the screen that said, waiting for Sniper to fall off his chair dizzy. I come on. I can do that easily. I'm the Sniper.
He's a pro. He doesn't fall. I'll tell you who does fall, though. Anybody who Danny Brasco picks against, what do we got UFC style? Like, what's going on this weekend?
Huge 314 card. Alexander Volkanovski's taking on Diego Lopez for the vacant featherweight title. There's a huge co-main event with Paddy the Baddy Pimblett and Michael Chandler. And I'm excited to get back after it. See, last week I brought 3 underdogs to the show. My favorite one, Davey from the Navy, Grant, got his fight canceled an hour after we filmed. And the other 2 just made mental mistakes. So I'm ready to get back in the cage and give you guys some winners for 314.
Yeah, Brasco, you're not afraid. You give out a lot of picks, and I know on today's show you have more picks than you normally do. Like, this is going to be a really busy recap screen. Buckets, I couldn't help but notice that you showed up today and not Steck Up, which leads me to believe that just maybe you don't have much confidence in your picks today.
Oh, well, that hurts my feelings, Sia. I had this whole thing I was going to say about how I haven't seen the Sniper since October 5th of last year, and I was so excited to see my best friend again. But you shot my confidence, and now I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the show. I'll figure it out, I guess.
Look at that shirt, Sia. He is oozing confidence. Don't take it from him.
I tried.
Yeah.
I really did, Chip, but I don't know what to do now.
I mean, last week Stack Up showed up because the pick was such a lie that the feds were going to potentially be slamming down his door. Now I'm getting a hate text from Buckets. This is not good. Sniper, it is nice to be, before we get to picks, it is nice to be reunited with your friend Buckets finally. Oh, see, rookie mistake. There we go. No, we still don't have it. Oh,
yeah, sorry. I was muted because my neighbor decided to mow his lawn right at the start of the show, and I was worried everybody was going to hear the sounds. Very nice to be on with Buckets again. I was very impressed with how he ended up our dancing segment of the Big Pick Energy. It looked like were you a UFC fighter getting yourself hyped up for the show?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm so sorry.
No, he's all down. Come on, man. We're back on the show together.
This is Sia being a dream stealer, says Aaron Bailey. All right, well, there's only one way I know how to get Buckets back. Classic. Makes me think of Plinko every time I hear that sound. Anyway, I need to get Buckets' energy back up. Buckets, the only way I know how to do that is to have you give out 2 extremely high confidence picks. Go ahead, my friend.
I guess I can do that. So we've got Serie A today, which Chip is better at betting at than I am anyway, so we should probably just let Chip give out this bet. But I guess we've got Udinese playing AC Milan, guys. This is a fantastic game to bet on if you like goals. And we're betting on this not because we think Udinese is awesome, because they're peak attacking Italian flavor, whatever you want to call them. That's not why we're betting this. We're betting this because AC Milan right now is absolutely embarrassing themselves every single week. We're taking BTTS. It's minus 135. It's a little bit of juice. If you want to parlay the over, I say you take that as well, because AC Milan cannot keep a clean sheet to save their life right now. They have hit BTTS now in 8 straight matches across all competitions, conceding twice to Lecce, twice to Lazio, twice to Bologna, twice to Torino, once to Como. This team is Christian Pulisic, and that's about it right now. So they're good enough to score a goal against Udinese because, frankly, anyone is. But BTTS should be minus 200, and I should be begging you to put this in a parlay. But we can play it as a straight at minus 135. Then second bet, we're going to France. We're going to Ligue 1 in a matchup between RC Lens taking on Stade Reims. And you have to really get ugly to find value in this one. You got to bet something that I know a lot of us don't like betting, but we're going with an under. But in a same game parlay to make it a little bit more digestible here, I'm taking Lens double chance plus under 3.5 goals at minus 130. And if you look at Lens' last 4 games, the exact same scoreline in all 4 of them. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. 1-0. This team has decided we can win games, but we can only do it if we score 1 goal and play tremendous defense. So I'm giving us a safety net with the under 3.5 and the double chance, but I wouldn't be shocked if RC Lens wins again 1-0, which is plus 800 if you're feeling a little bit frisky this afternoon.
So is that pronounced, because I wasn't fully dialed in there, but it's Stade Reims? Stade Reims?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just say it confidently enough that people usually don't question me.
All right. So recap screen. I'm going to say it super, super confident. Danny, I'm worried because I know your picks have some pronunciations that I might have trouble with. But can I ask you to confirm that you, Gipper's picks, and Josh Nagel were on yesterday, giving out a whole show's worth of picks?
That's right. UFC 314 Early Edge preview stream was yesterday. Josh Nagel, Gipper's in the chats right now, and we broke down almost every fight on the entire card. Last show, we went 7-2-1 on our combined picks, and we were kind of scattered across the board. There were dissenting opinions. It ended up working out great. So a lot of great information on that show. If you have time, be sure to check it out.
Yeah, that show doesn't disappear. It's on your podcast feed and it's in your YouTube feed. So go check that out. Of course, Danny's going to be bringing some more picks on this show. All right. Well, we got the Masters going on right now. I'm watching Justin Rose, the leader's back on the course. He's playing with Spawn and Max Homa. I pushed my Spawn versus Max Homa bet yesterday. It was pretty juicy. It was a push, so it didn't matter. Spawn's going to win that matchup today. I probably should have gone right back to it. But Chip, you've got a couple of matchups for us to consider. We're going to have 4, basically 3 balls or matchups today on the show. I even tweeted one out. I put it in the SportsLine Discord last night, like a fun little parlay that you can do that's kind of underway here. But Chip, talk to me about the Masters today.
All right. So first of all, I'm just taking this right out of Sia's book. Okay, I'm reaching in. I'm just taking it out because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Tyrrell Hatton, Tom Kim, and Jordan Spieth. And I love what I saw from Tyrrell Hatton yesterday. 4th in the field in strokes gained on approach. Really just a couple of bad putts on 2 and 17. Kept his 3 under from maybe even being a 4 or 5 under. You know, those small mistakes when everything else is good, that is something that I want to think that he can carry over in terms of form. We looked at Tyrrell Hatton as somebody who profiled as being able to play well here. When he follows that up, I want to jump in. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, do I really want to play with the other side of the Spieth coaster? Because right now I'm in a position with Jordan Spieth where I don't want to bet on him, but I also do not want to specifically bet against him because I realize the distance between his ceiling and his floor is a daggum skyscraper. So thanks to Sia, we know about 3-ball matchups. When you can go in, you look at 3-ball matchups, you get the threesome, but you identify one matchup you like. That's where we find the opportunity to jump on Tyrrell Hatton, minus 140. A little juicy, I know, but there's some boosts floating around to make it a little bit more palatable over Tom Kim. Then Patrick Reed had an amazing analysis of his putting yesterday. He said, piss poor, putted like a blind man, kept leaving them a little short, and just when I finally got the ball to the hole, I didn't even have the right read, putted horribly, not going to win golf tournaments putting that way I putted today. You got to give putts a chance, leaving them short. I'm telling you what, everything else about Patrick Reed's game seemed okay. So I'm going to look at Patrick Reed and I'm going to say, I think that you are going to be able to correct this because Patrick Reed, a Masters champion, Patrick Patrick Reed, one of the best short game players in the world right now, that I think he's going to be able to correct this. He said he did not snap his putter, though he definitely wanted to. That we look at putting as one of those regression stats that can regress the other way positively. So give me Patrick Reed, somebody else who was very good on approach, who was very good tee to green to clean up his issues on the greens. I'll take him plus 135 over Ben An and Max Grazerman.
Yeah, guys like Patrick Reed, guys like Sergio Garcia really know this course and have really great experience here, especially Patrick Reed, because it's really great Augusta experience that's recent over the last couple of years, but throughout his entire career. By the way, you mentioned an odds boost token that you can get really at a lot of places, but I do want to mention one that BetMGM has. Get an odds boost token for your Masters bets at BetMGM. Use your boost token for any Masters bet, and you'll receive a bigger payout if you win. Excitement is par for the course at BetMGM. Chip, I want to run something by you, courtesy of KC3. We have the Chip Me Up, which I coined and I'm very proud of. But KC3 says when you give out golf bets on BPE Friday, they're chip shots. Your thoughts?
I'm in. So in 2013, we had chip shots as a branded bowl pick segment. Like I went down to Fort Lauderdale and I did 35 straight bowl preview videos back to back to back. Like, and now with Alamo Bowl coming up, here are your chip shots.
Oh.
Fact, pick, wrap. Then like let it go. I mean, it was the original like Chip Patterson vending machine of takes. Press button, get take. So chip shots has been around and it has been dusty. I think we blow off that dust. We can definitely break it out because, see, as you know, this is my pivot, right? You always talk about the pivot on the DFS show. My pivot at this time of year is to pivot right to the links. So chip shots, I'm with it.
Yeah, golf's year round. And let's be honest, back in 2013, 2014, when you were doing that for football, the phrase chip shot is not as appropriate for football as it is for golf. So like, it was misappropriated and now it's found a home courtesy of KC3 reviving it. Absolutely love that. There was something else I wanted to add. Oh, that's right. Nobody saw this until a friend of mine on Twitter, Braden Turner, tweeted this out last night. But I mentioned the Max Homa JJ Spawn matchup that pushed. You have to go to my Twitter and look at my pinned tweet or go to Braden Turner's tweet. I quote tweeted it. So just go to my Twitter. It's pinned. There is the funniest thing that happened that nobody saw because it was only on the Masters app where Max Homa hit a Marshall in the middle of the four caddy in the middle of his round and like off one of his shots. And it's the funniest 20 seconds you're ever going to see. It's blowing up. It's got like so many retweets on Braden's and on mine. And you just have to see it. So again, after this show, go check out my pinned tweet. Give Braden some love. But this is just the funniest moment ever. Go ahead, Chip.
So is that Max who yells or is it the four caddy who yells when he gets hit in the back? Like when he...
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it might be somebody else, like just from the side. It could have been Max, but then it's Max who's saying, "Come on, dude." Yeah. Like after that,
somebody goes, "Oh," and then you hear Max say, "Come on, dude." But it's amazing stuff.
It's great stuff. All right, we got to move on to some sports line picks because we got to get to Danny, we got to get to Sniper, and I got a couple golf picks as well. We're going to the association. Michael Porter Jr. over 18.5 points at -115. That's courtesy of PropStars, and then JLC. We're going plus 158, although this line has come down. He put it on SportsLine at plus 158. Still a heavy plus number, maybe plus 130, plus 135. He likes the Angels money line. Jason La Canfora, Angels money line today, plus 158. And we have a producer pick. Ben's been hot, folks. Grizzlies first half, plus 4.5 at -115. A lot more picks to get to. Got plenty of time to do it, but we will do it after this message from our partners.
We need your sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
We're back on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Before I give out my pick, Sniper, someone in the chat, it looks like Big Face Bet, says, looking at Cubs first five money line, plus 175. I know that's your team. Did you take a look at this game?
Yeah, it's difficult because you're playing the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. They haven't lost there yet this year. I believe it was 6 games, I believe, when they came back from Japan and they won every single game. But first five, Matthew Boyd versus Yamamoto. The Cubs already saw Yamamoto over in Japan. it's difficult for me. I was probably a stay away, but I don't think it's unreasonable, especially with the plus 175 on there.
Yeah.
So I'd be down with that.
Yeah, Dodgers looking to bounce back off Sniper, correct me if I'm wrong, but a road trip that was extremely
It's terrible
underwhelming,
for
correct?
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad.
All right. We have 500 people watching and we have 116 likes. It's not
Come on
bad.
now.
But it's not great. It's not great. We got to get to like 175, 200. I'm going to give out 2 bets today. They start this afternoon. Let's see. Wow, there's some Cubs hate in there, Sniper. Harris English plus 125 over Taylor Pendrith and Fred Couples. That's going to be pick number 1. If you watched some of the content earlier in the week, I was one of those guys that was not big on Taylor Pendrith at all. And I thought the short game would get him into some trouble. But just the fact that he's never played Augusta will get him into some trouble. He wasn't very good yesterday. Fred Couples was very good. I got to be honest. I do think he slows down a little bit today. Harris English was excellent yesterday. He has a great Masters track record. And with the wind picking up in the afternoon, probably in the next hour or two, I do think that caters to Harris English much more than it does to Taylor Pendrith. Fred Couples, kind of a wild card. You could isolate this matchup if you happen to be afraid of Fred Couples and just take Harris English minus 115 over Taylor Pendrith. But I like this 3-ball quite a bit. So I'm going to take the plus 125. You can find this really at any book. Next one is another bet you can find at any book. I'm going right back to Bobby McIntyre. This is the one we cashed. It was the Wednesday pick on the early edge. It's now plus 100 instead of, I guess when I initially gave it out, it was plus 105 on Wednesday, but they've adjusted just a little bit. Nick Dunlap, I mean, I hate to say it. I'm not trying to be rude. He's broken. Like he is an absolute no factor in this matchup. Billy Horschel absolutely is. But again, I think Bobby McIntyre has got a good Masters track record. He's just been good in general. And I think with the wind picking up, he's going to be a little bit better around the green than Billy Horschel. He had a very underwhelming day yesterday. It's because he 3-putt kind of early in his round, ended up winning the matchup anyway. But I like this. It's really Bobby McIntyre in a matchup against Billy Horschel, and I think Bobby McIntyre is going to win. So we got Harris English 3-ball, Bobby McIntyre 3-ball. These start between 12:11 Eastern time and I believe 12:50 Eastern time. So you have a couple hours to put them in. You may as well put them in now. Now we got to transition. Sniper, back to baseball. We're talking Rangers. We're talking Mets.
Yeah, we'll start with the Rangers. One of my favorites in the preseason, as you well remember, Sia. They are playing really good baseball right now, first place in the AL West, but the offense was really struggling for a second. Remember, they won a pair of 1-0 games against the Reds there. The offense was kind of in a collective slump. They lost 7-0 to the Cubs this past Monday, but then they lost on Tuesday, but they scored 6 runs. On Wednesday, they scored 6 runs again in a win, and a lot of their outs were really, really loud. They had some warning track flies. They hit some line drives right at guys. I believe that the team is going to turn it around offensively, and that it already started with those last 2 games in Wrigley Field. It was really cold, and they were knocking the ball around the yard anyway. Now they go to Seattle. Yes, T-Mobile, not a very good hitter's park, but I think the offense is getting it going. As I said, it was cold. Wyatt Langford does go to the injured list, but they just got Josh Young back, and guys like Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, they're ready to start picking it up right now. They get Bryce Miller of the Mariners, who has been terrible so far this year, 8.64 ERA in his 4 career starts against the Rangers, so I like the offense here. Plus, Jacob deGrom on the mound against the punchless Mariners offense. Really, really like the Rangers to win this baseball game. They have a rested bullpen as well. Shop this around. This was in the 130s in some books, but I found it at minus 122 late last night. So hopefully you can get a number as favorable as this, but I do think the Rangers are going to win. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal to throw a little juice. Speaking of juice, Mets in Sutter Health Park, for those unaware, that is Sacramento. It's just the Athletics, by the way. They're not branding themselves the Sacramento A's. They're not yet the Las Vegas A's. They used to be the Oakland A's. They're just the Athletics right now, but they're playing in Sacramento. It has been so far a very hitter-friendly park. During night games, this is a night game. The Mets are going to Oakland for, see again, it's old habits die hard. They're going to Sacramento for the first time this year. I went with over 4.5 runs on the Mets team total, but it's very juicy. You could also find 5.5 for plus money if you want to get there. The Mets have a very good offense, but everybody hasn't hit their stride yet. Francisco Lindor is kind of lying in the weeds. Mark Vientos hasn't done anything at all. Brandon Nimmo hasn't been very good at this point. That's a turnaround quickly for those 3. Pete Alonso, by the way, is killing the ball, having the best year of his career. That, by the way, was for you, Sia. Juan Soto has been very good, but he's capable of better. He's capable of more power. I like the Mets offense here against lefty JP Sears. They hit lefties really well. probably an explosion here. So if you like over 5.5 at plus money, do that. If you want over 4.5 to be safe and pay a little juice, that's cool too. We're on the over there. My bonus home run pick for the day. People usually always ask about a home run, so I'm going out here. Yordan Alvarez. He only has 1 home run this year. He's not hitting that well to start the year. Coming off a day off yesterday, going home. I like this spot for him to start breaking out of his slump. Jack Kowanowitz of the Angels can be home run prone. He was home run prone in the minors. He's given up 10 home runs in 76 and a third innings in his major league career. The Angels bullpen isn't too scary. The Angels are overachieving right now at 8-4. That means it's going to start to even out a little bit. I like Yordan to go deep tonight. Couple questions from the chat. Robbie Ray over 6.5 strikeouts against the Yankees. The Yankees are strikeout prone, but Ray only has 6 strikeouts so far. I don't think he's in punch-out mode just yet, so I would avoid that. I was asked about Diamondbacks Brewers from somebody who said they're going to the Diamondbacks game. That's really cool, by the way. Heavy lean on the Diamondbacks there. Lefty Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound. He's not that great, but the Brewers do not hit left-handed pitching, so I would take the Diamondbacks there, but I believe there's some juice on that. Maybe find a way with a run line or a first 5 or something.
All right. And I want to follow up too, because Dustin Wiles, who you may actually you may not remember this, you might not have been on the show, but Dustin Wiles just had a boy 2 weeks ago. Denver Blake, I believe, is his name. And he says Freddie Freeman home run plus 600 or 2+ bases at plus 120 if you're scared. Any thoughts on Freddie Freeman?
Yeah, he's been hurt and he's just coming back. Well, hold on. I think better with my bat, as you know.
Yeah.
It's a lefty with Matthew Boyd to start the game. The Cubs bullpen has been shaky. Maybe he'll get somebody in the bullpen, but he's had several days off because he's injured. I don't think Freddie Freeman's going to hit a home run tonight, so I'll go no on that.
All right. So first of all, that's in A Few Good Men reference from Daniel Alistair Caffey, a.k.a. Tom Cruise. If you haven't seen that movie, that's okay. We can still be friends, but you have to see it. Yeah. Well, hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the caveat. Here's the caveat. You have to watch it within the next 3 days.
Yes.
And then we can still remain friends. A Few Good Men is one of the best movies of all time, and that is a great reference. All right, we got to transition. We got time here, but we got numbers game. We've got Mike McClure in the chat dropping UFC picks, which is awesome. We got Gipper's picks in here, but Danny Brasco, it's time for you to give out some UFC picks, my friend.
Let's go, Sia. UFC 314 is underway, and I see my man M2, and I see Gippers in the chat. I think we're going to be on opposite sides, which is not something I'd hope to do. I hope they were in my corner for one of these, but nonetheless, I see it how I see it. So let's get right into things because I got a lot of picks for you guys today. We're starting off with a 2-leg parlay on the money line in the prelims, and I'm going to combine Nora Kornole with Michal Olejniczak. You guys ready for this? Oleksz JCZUK. Did I get it? I missed an I. It's hard.
Ooh.
But after 15 fights in the UFC, I think this guy's actually coming into the peak of his game. He's been training with the Fighting Nerds ahead of this training camp, the hottest gym in the game right now. And they've given him some stiff middleweight competition. He's fought at light heavyweight as well, ranked opposition. Guy's not a ranked fighter. He's not making a title run, but he's a tricky southpaw boxer that finally has a very winnable matchup. I like Michal Olejniczak a good deal in this spot. I'm pairing him with the first fight of the night, Nora Kornole, whose opponent I just don't think is UFC caliber. She's fighting a girl named Haley Cohen, who's a grappler, but Kornole is very good in the clinch. When Cohen goes and tries to take her down against the fence, Kornole is going to lace up that Muay Thai plum grip, use knees and elbows, and just wear on her and grind her down. I think she shows the skill level difference. So pair those together, you get a pretty good price tag, plus 138. That's going to kick us off in the prelims. Next bet, I think this might be my favorite bet on the entire card. I like Virna Jandiroba on the money line here, and really it's because of a glaring weakness I see in her opponent Yan Xiaonan's game. Jandiroba is a very skilled grappler, elite jiu-jitsu player, and her opponent Xiaonan, very good boxer, stinging right hand in that and really good boxing combinations. She had success against Weili Zhang, the champion. But at the end of round 2, Weili Zhang choked her out with a rear naked choke that wasn't stopped by the referee unthinkably. She went back to the stool and somehow lasted the rest of the fight. The reason I bring that up is because if we're looking at a submission loss for Yan Xiaonan, I think these odds are way larger for Virna Jandiroba, who can take her down, lace up that body triangle, and put Yan Xiaonan in very, very dangerous grappling positions where she struggled before. I think Virna's the best grappler in division. If you can't stay on your feet with her, you're in trouble, and I don't see Yan doing that. So give me Virna. And what's her method of victory? By submission, plus 260. The body triangle is a padlock. And if Yan Xiaonan is fighting off rear naked chokes for multiple rounds, I think eventually she gets submitted either by that or by an armbar. Virna has the best arm bars in the game. All right, Virna in a big way right there. Hopefully can get a big hitter on the method of victory. Co-main event of the evening. Some dissenting opinions in the chat. I don't care. Give me Patty the Batty Pimblett. I think he's ready, and I think he's the rightful favorite against Iron Michael Chandler in this co-main event spot. A lot of people are going to back Chandler for his veteran resume, right? He's got pop in his shots, extremely explosive puncher, and he almost had Charles Oliveira out of there in a competitive fight with Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, right? So a lot of people might think that the odds are mispriced. But I think Patty's ready. Patty is no longer this goofy, silly British kid who's messing around and gaining 50 pounds in between fights, eating hot dogs and beers at the ballpark. He's now a father of two. He's taking his professional fighting career very seriously. He's in peak physique right now. His shape looks incredible. And he's actually a lot taller and rangier than people give him credit for. I think he's harder to deal with on the feet than a lot of people see this matchup. I think they're seeing Chandler could knock him out and spark him on the feet, but Patty will be a problem for him on the ground with his excellent BJJ. I think Patty will be just fine if it goes deep, if it stays on the feet a lot. Chandler's fight style is recklessness. It's in his DNA. He knows no other way. He is going to put himself in trouble. If he ends up on the ground, he's in Patty's world. I think Patty has a big advantage there. I think he's ready to join this kind of elite group of the lightweights in the UFC. So give me Patty the Batty. And finally, guys, the main event of the evening. It hurts my heart to go against my sweet prince, Alexander Volkanovski, but I fear his reign is over. Give me Diego Lopez to take the vacant featherweight title. I think he's ready to become champion. His self-belief is at an all-time high, and I just back guys at the peak of their game. It's not that Volkanovski's skills are gone. I think he'll look great until he doesn't. His hands, his low kicks, his wrestling, it's all there. He's still an elite fighter. It's his chin I can no longer trust. After taking that head kick from Islam Makhachev and then that right hook of death from Ilia Topuria, who are excellent strikers and may not be the caliber of striker. Diego Lopez may not be the caliber of striker they are, but it doesn't need to be pretty for Lopez to get it done. He can get in there, dirty box, hit you with those short shots. I think eventually the chin gets touched from Volkanovski and the tides turn in this fight. I'm going with Diego Lopez and new, Sia.
Okay, that was amazing. Buckets, I know you need to get out of here soon. Any rebuttal? Because sometimes you do when Danny Brasco gives out those UFC picks.
I have a rebuttal for Danny, and I have a rebuttal for Snyper. So I'm going to fly through these real quick. Snyper,
Woo!
it's like whatever is, what's the opposite of rebuttal? It's a good,
But
I'll figure this out later. I'll figure this out later. I just wanted to say that I want to reinforce the Jordan Alvarez play, and also wanted to throw out here, Sniper, if you parlay Jordan Alvarez home run with Austin Riley home run, it's almost plus 2,000 on MGM, which was my home run pick for the day. So something you might want to consider. I'm just throwing that out there. Danny, going back to you. I would love to show you down. I'd love to fight you on some of these. I'd love to find some place where I think you're just wrong, but I don't have that. I think Patty Pimblett does win. I'm on Diego Lopez as well. We're just on the same boat on these, so I'm not going to fight you on any of these.
Yeah, it's a changing of the guard, man. Max, Usman, Izzy, Whitaker. We all thought they would last forever until they didn't. I think it's time to pass the torch. So I like that you're with me, Buckets.
I love it.
Wow. Okay. That was, again, very impressive, Danny Brasco. Chip, anything in the chat that you needed to respond to? Buckets, I know we need to bid you adieu. Chip, anything going on in the chat that you needed to respond to?
not that I saw. I mean, obviously, there was some Patrick Reed, bending the rules allegations and jokes, and I'm always here for the jokes. And listen, if that's the risk you run, he might get caught, you might catch a penalty. He might not get caught, you might get an extra stroke on your side. Kind of depends on how he does with that wedge, right? Just clean everything up right behind the ball. But I didn't see anything else that jumped out to me. I will say, just on the Masters in general, it is funny on Thursday because you talk about, and see, like I told you, like I consume a lot of the content that you're putting in, and I consume lots of different content. When there's a golfer who everyone agrees is in the right form, is the right course fit, and everything is lining up, and then they just show up and don't have it, it kind of makes me laugh. Like Russell Henley in a bunch of other universes is sitting T22 right now. Mm-hmm. Just motoring along, and instead he is like on the NetJets app, no free ads, like getting ready to figure out what he's going to do going home. It's so funny. We spend so much time with this, but it's not fake. It's competition, and you've got to go out there and you've got to get it done when it's time to go.
Well, also, it's just the swings in golf, the emotional swings that can just crater you for the rest of your round. I mean, Henley's not one of those types. Maybe Terrell Hatton, your guy, is like, or Bobby McIntyre. When things go bad, they just go bad. And on a course like Augusta National, like
Dude,
it's
or
just going to go
Rory
downhill.
McIlroy.
Yeah,
Rory
yeah.
McIlroy he chips it into the water and he loses it. I mean, that is a perfect soft factors in golf. It is. We spend so much time looking at all the data. Soft factors are a huge part of this.
Big Cheesy Zalatoris over Cam Smith -145. I don't love that number personally, but the previous matchup you pointed out, not the Kevin Yu one. It was one earlier that I did kind of like. Brasco, go ahead.
Two quick things I wanted to mention. One thing I failed to say, just an important trend that you should know, any Volkanovski bettors, UFC in title fights for fighters that are 35 and older, welterweight or below, are now 3-21 in their last 24 title fights. So that 35 and over curse is very real. And another thing, a lot of people are asking for cricket plays in the chat. See ya. Every morning at 10 a.m., an Indian Premier League game kicks off. So that's why it's perfect timing for the early edge. I don't have anything today. We missed the boat on the play I wanted. They're now -400, but I will always be, because it times up perfectly with the early edge and the Indian Premier League cricket. It's a great thing.
How about this family? I mean, it's just new stuff that we're kind of contributing, new stuff that you all are contributing in terms of like some of your picks and some of the participation. We're well over 200 likes, got 500 people watching. We do have to close the show eventually, I got to be honest. But Snyper, any last thoughts? Anything in the chat, or any response to the Austin Riley home run?
Yeah, there were some mentions in the chat of Matt Olson home run, the same game as Austin Riley, left-hander in that short porch in George Steinbrenner Field where the Rays are playing temporarily, which is modeled after Yankee Stadium. Hot weather down there in Tampa. I really, really like that Matt Olson mention, maybe even a little bit more than my Jordan play. Maybe I should have done that. Also, somebody mentioned playing the Mariners and Astros together, perhaps as a parlay, or Rangers and Astros against the Mariners and Angels. Yes, I really like that one as well. The Rangers and Astros play together. So yeah, I like both of those.
Okay. A lot of picks, a lot of questions, and a lot of answers. We got Mike McClure still in the chat. I know there's a lot of golf questions. I do want to remind everybody, this might be the greatest show on earth, says KC3. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Go review the show, by the way, on Apple or Spotify. That would be incredibly helpful. And note some of these personalities on the show, whether it's Buckets or Chip or Sniper or Brasco or anybody that you love, or maybe just love the show in general. Reviewing it on Spotify or Apple is just something that is probably the biggest thing you can do to help the show. Golf-wise, just reminder, we're going to be on CBS Sports Network today at 12 o'clock. We're going to have live bets on that show, so you can watch golf maybe on another monitor. You're watching CBS Sports Network, because we're going to catch you up on what's going on the course. We got people actually there, of course, in Patrick McDonald and Rick Gaiman, but we're going to have some live bets and some analysis as well. Okay, I guess we can finally take a look at the recap screen. As Mike McClure says, see you soon on CBS Sports Network. I've got Harris English +125 over Taylor Pendrith and Freddie Couples. That's today. That one starts in about an hour and a half. And then I got Bobby McIntyre. We're going back to this one. +100 over Billy Horschel and Nick Dunlap. These are round 2 3 balls. Sniper, Rangers -122. And the Mets over 4.5 runs at -154. Of course, Rangers is money line. Then we got buckets. All right, here we go. Udinese versus AC Milan. Both teams to score -135. And RC Lens versus Stade Reims. Lens DC plus under 3.5 goals at -130. Chip Patterson. Terrell Hatton -140 over Tom Kim and Patrick Reed. +135 over Ben On and Max Grazerman. Then we got Danny Brasco. Okay, here we go. 2-leg prelims parlay, Cornell money line, and okay, Olektichuk money line +138. Verna Jandaroba money line -142. Verna Jandaroba by submission +260. Patty Pimblett money line -148, and Diego Lopez money line +120. Believe it or not, folks, we're not done. Michael Porter tonight over 18.5 points. That's courtesy of Prop Stars, and it's -115. And then we got the Angels. Yes, the Angels money line +158. A very good plus number here from JLC. Don't forget Ben on the 1s and 2s, giving you picks. He might be going for, maybe I'm misquoting it, 4 or 5 in a row at this point. Grizzlies first half +4.5. That is courtesy of Ben at -115. What a show.
What? Rock down to Electric Aranu.
So good. So much going on right here. Jeff Stenberg says, great job, Ben. Great job, everybody in the chat. You got us almost to 250 likes, which is Really, really good. What a recap screen, says Mr. Big. Let's have a great Friday. We may see you at 12 o'clock, of course, on CBS Sports Network, but you can always find us here Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock. We got a lot of special shows coming up starting next week. We're going to be talking NFL draft special shows. We got NBA playoff special shows. So you might want to turn your notifications on this SportsLine YouTube channel, which hopefully you're already subscribed to. We're even going to have a live betting show relating to Major League Baseball coming up soon, where we're going to have a lot of live cappers like Mike McClure and some of the other baseball guys, Amags, Snyper, and we're just going to be talking live bets during a very intensive afternoon day of baseball. All of that is coming up on this channel. On behalf of Chip, on behalf of Danny Brasco, on behalf of Snyper, and all the A Few Good Men references, don't forget your homework, folks. If you haven't seen the movie, you got to see it. Watch it within the next 3 days. And if you have seen the movie, watch it again. Thanks, everybody. On behalf of everybody here and Ben on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, let's have a great Friday. Enjoy the Masters, enjoy the baseball, enjoy the UFC, enjoy the soccer, enjoy it all. We rest our case.